Hello, hello. If you can see me, I want you to type on the side that you can see me, and I am going to have Lindsay join this call. So hold on just a minute while I add her in here. Again, if you're joining and you can see and you can hear me, you can write it on the side that you're here and that you can hear me and everything is all good. And I'm working on getting Lindsay in this. Welcome, you guys. I'm just currently trying to get Lindsay in on this call. And then we will get started. There she is. Ow!
Hello, how's it going?
Hi, you got your hair cut.
I did. My mop.
That's like to be cruise ready. Your mop.
How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. I'm doing really good. I was trying to like scarf down my lunch before this came on, so hopefully I'm having in my teeth. But
you're good. You're good.
We're gonna wait like 5 minutes because people are still getting on. And have you gotten your outfit together for 80s night?
I haven't even packed yet. Look at all this behind me. This is like I had like I sold like 400 things online. So I'm packaging orders and I have not slept in like days. So I did shower for you this morning though because I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't shower yesterday, and yeah, I'm in the middle of all of this. I'm like, this is a really brilliant time to do an online sale right before I leave. I haven't packed. I haven't done anything.
Dude, I have a pop-up tonight and tomorrow night, and there's like 20 people at each pop-up, and I'm like, what was I thinking?
I know. No, I did the same thing last year. I did parties like right up until I left. It was ridiculous. So I didn't do any parties this week, but I did this huge online thing. And
I saw your, no, did you Periscope or you Instagram? But you had like 400 items. I was like, oh my gosh.
It was pretty crazy. Yeah, there's so many.
And so
there's so many still unpaid too. I'm like, dudes, you better get your crap together because I'm leaving.
Yeah, or that's like either not going to send. I'm just going to, give me just a second. I'm going to check to make sure everyone's not having connection issues. If any of you are here, awesome. I'm going to eventually have it so it's not switching back and forth between Lindsay and my face. But if you're here, you can chat on the side, tell us who you are, and that you can hear us and see us before we start spewing out before Lindsay starts telling us her.
Oh, I don't. No, I'm no expert. I don't know.
We would all like, I was like, you guys, we got Lindsay Wheeler to come. You guys have this call.
Sweet.
You're like my Lula celebrity.
If you saw me yesterday, you wouldn't be so impressed. I like didn't brush my teeth or shower trying to get out a bunch of online orders. It was not a very glamorous day, but awesome. I survived.
Okay, Sherry's here. Sherry, can you hear us and see us and everything? Let me just check one more and I'll turn off.
This is so cool. We do Google Hangout on my team, but it always, it can only get so many people in. So is this another version of it?
Well, this is, it is, what is it called? Web Fusion Pro. Lisa
I have that, but
yeah.
It's horrible. I have an account, but I haven't used it. Like that's ridiculous.
It's like learning Arabic. It's really, really hard.
Yeah, I know.
So we've had some really struggling webinars, but I do much better talking than I do typing. So but anyway, it uses Google Hangouts as the webcam.
Oh, awesome. I need to use it. I need to log in there and figure it out.
If I wanted to, I could call all of my team in and have all these little faces, but
oh wow,
too many.
Because Google Hangout kicks people out after like 10, right? Or it only lets 10 in.
Yeah. So Web Fusion they have a chat. So are you seeing the chat at all, or you're just seeing?
Yeah, I see the chat. Okay. Hi, Sherry.
So there's the chat on the side is Web Fusion, and then the Google Hangouts. It's like two separate things. And this is recording onto my training YouTube channel that's private. So they'll be able to come back. So if you pick your nose, it'll be on YouTube it'll be on our training video.
Ever.
Awesome.
I won't pick my nose, I promise. I'll make my mama proud.
Yeah. I think everything's good. So I am gonna get started in just a minute. One more checking area. Okay. And I'll try to turn all these sounds off because otherwise my computer will just keep making sounds. Okay, so Lindsay is awesome, you guys. She is, oh, Sherry, your notebook is ready. Okay, so what we'll do is we're going to go through the webinar. We're going to try to get this done as quick as possible because we all have, especially those who are going on the cruise, have so many things to do. So we're going to try to get through this quick. It's just we were all at leadership training, and I sat at a table with Lindsay and one of her girls, and then Alexandra, my coach, and we were all talking about really the weaknesses and the strengths that we see within our team and what we need to focus on as we're leading our team and as we're training them. And what Kenny and Art were trying to show us was that with every weakness, there's a strength. So if someone has a weakness in something, someone else has that strength. And so utilize each other to help teach each other's teams. And I mean, Lindsay's got a huge team, and she takes her time out just for our tiny team is just fantastic and shows you the LuLaRoe culture that we should be upholding, which is supporting one another and not creating any sort of competition and being able to just change lives for ourselves and for our customers. So she's like the epitome of keeping up our integrity. She's like the is teaching people how to keep up the integrity of the company and also how to build your business and how to help it to give you the goals that you have. So if you have a goal to one day adopt a baby, or you have this financial goal, how are you going to get there? She has been able to how long have you been in? A year, 2 years?
So it'll be 2 years in March. So yeah, I started right after everybody got back from the cruise, was the first kind of opportunity call that I listened to. And everyone was talking about the cruise. I was like, that's crazy. I will never be on that thing. I just want to do this kind of a little hobby. And wow, was I wrong? I mean, my business is, it really started out as just something I thought that would be fun to do and make a little extra money for my family and, get me away from cartoons and, little kid kind of Groundhog Day, which I love my kiddos, don't get me wrong, but, just to kind of have a little breakup and a little me time. Was why I started LuLaRoe. And wow, I mean, it has changed our family's lives in saying that my husband will retire from his job next year because of LuLaRoe. So that's pretty incredible.
Yeah. So I am going to turn the time over to Lindsay. I'm going to let you, if you could, you kind of started giving us a little blurb. Tell us about yourself. What we had found at the training was that we asked Lindsay, because she did this whole blurb at the table about how, business basics, how can you make this successful for yourself if you want it? If you want to reach those things, if you want to get to those things quicker than you thought, you can do it, but it does take work, and you have to be willing to put in that work. As you do it and keep your integrity high and keep yourself busy, and the rewards will come, and it will happen. And it's like eventually it's like a snowball. It'll just keep rolling and rolling and rolling.
Yeah, the momentum is really pretty incredible.
Yeah.
So just to tell you a little bit about, my, I promise I won't pick my nose. I was just scratching. I was a television reporter, so I worked for ABC News. That's what I always wanted to do. I figured as much as I talk, somebody might as well pay me to do it. Forgive all this back here. I don't live in chaos all the time, but these are all the online orders that I'm working on today. So that's what's behind me. But yeah, so I was a television reporter, and I loved my job, and I was really good at it. But then I had these, I had a little boy, and I got married to this really great guy, and we had a little boy, and I thought I could still do it all. I thought I could be the television reporter and be flying all over the country and be this great mom. And I just realized that I hated dropping him off every day. I just hated it. It just made me sick to my stomach, and it's all I thought about all day long was just trying to get back to him. And I hated not being able to see him very much because I just worked such long, crazy hours. So my husband is Army Special Forces, and so he just said, well, then if you want to stay home, we'll make it work. You stay home. And so it was crazy for me to give up this really great job and this career that I'd worked so hard for, but I just, in my gut, I knew that it was right. So I quit my job and we moved from the East Coast back to the Northwest when my husband got moved out to Seattle, to the base here, and which is at least closer to my family, which is great. And then we had our daughter, and everything was good. But I kind of lost me in the process. I was the girl that got up every morning and put on makeup and was on TV and, you know, had kind of this fun job. And then there was me 2 years later that was in sweats, the same sweats at, you know, 8 o'clock at night when my husband got home that I was in at 5 o'clock in the morning when he left. And I just really lost me, and I missed having some kind of creative outlet. So when I came across LuLaRoe, I was like, I really like those clothes. And I was that like addict customer who was stalking, you know, the girl that I met, and I needed more Julias in my life. And there was just something about it. I had this feeling that I think that that's something that I could do. And it was nuts because I've never sold anything in my life, never sold a thing. I have a journalism background, and my sweet dad, who is a really smart businessman, I had sent some stuff to my stepmom, LuLaRoe, and he was like, man, she really likes that. What is this company? And I was telling him a little bit about it. I didn't know very much. And he just said, hey, I think there's something to that. You should look into it. I was like, oh no, that's crazy. Even though I was kind of thinking about it, I kind of played it off, and he's like, no, I think you should do it. And so he sent me a check in the mail the next day and was like, you're going to do it. My husband told me not to. He told me I was nuts, that I would, you know, play in the clothes for 6 weeks and then I would give up because, you know, he's like, you hate direct sales. You won't even go to a Pampered Chef party. Why would you start this business? Like, I know. But so I did it. And all my boxes arrived and I sort of panicked because I knew no one in our area. I literally had 2 ladies that I had met through a mom's group at our church, because our church had a lot of older people. And so there were like 2 girls my age, and I just didn't know anybody. I was in the midst of having, you know, little kids, and my husband was deployed. And so I just didn't know anybody. And all these boxes arrived, and I thought, oh crap, I don't know anybody. Who's going to host a party for me? What did I do? I had the total panic. Like, how do I send this stuff back? But I'm a big believer in, we all have the same amount of hours in the day, but it's what you do with it that makes the difference between your success and whether or not I would send these things back like my husband thought that I would in 6 weeks. So I kind of had my panic moment, and then I said, well, you know, you have a choice. You either quit or you kind of put your big girl pants on and you figure this out. So I put 10 business cards in my pocket, and I wore LuLaRoe every day. I handed business cards out to every cute girl that I saw, like in a Starbucks or a mom in a Playland at McDonald's. I handed out a business card, and I would walk up to anybody and make a fool out of myself and hand them a business card and say, hey, you're so cute. I think you'd really love my clothes. Here's my card. You should check out my page. And I handed those suckers out like they were candy. But I did it every single day, and I posted online like I had this huge following when it was only my mom watching me on Instagram, literally. And I had to teach her how to use Instagram because she didn't even know, but I wanted at least one person to like my pictures. But I posted every single day because I knew that that was something that would reach out to people, and that eventually, if I was doing it, one of those people that I handed a card to would go check it out. And when they did, I wanted them to have something there to look at that they would be excited about, that would make them take that next step and ask me more, ask me about a party, or ask me how to buy some leggings or whatever. So planting those seeds, even when you feel like people aren't looking, is so, so important. I mean, every single day, I challenge my girls to post online on social media every single day for 30 days. If you do something for 30 days, it becomes a habit. I look at social media not as an afterthought, which I think most girls in LuLaRoe kind of think about it as an afterthought, like, oh, geez, maybe I'll post a picture today. For me, it's the first thing that I think about in the morning. When I'm getting dressed, I'm thinking about what I'm going to wear, what I could post about, how, you know, something that I could say kind of quirky and cute that isn't just like, hey, these are leggings. They're $25. You should buy them. That's not fun. That's not engaging. That doesn't make people relate to you and have a connection with you. I knew that from my TV background that that's something that I could be good at, or that I could use my strengths. And I'm a big believer in taking the things that you're good at and doing them to the very best of your ability. If you are awesome at customer service, if you're an amazing photographer, you know, take your strengths and really play to them. For me, I knew that I could write a good tease. You know, that was my whole job, was getting people to want to tune into the news and stay through that commercial break. So for me, I knew that I could do that. I could kind of create that buzz and that excitement, hopefully through my writing if I did a good job, and through social media. So that was a big part of my business. Even when I had 0 customers, I was posting every single day. And if you scroll back through my Instagram, it's kind of scary, especially my Facebook. I didn't even have Instagram when I first started because I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah.
But my Facebook, like, to start out with, like, some of those pictures are really bad, but dang it, I posted every day and I got better and better and better. And now look, I mean, now I have a really great social media following, and I only want it to improve, but you have to start somewhere. So I think making that commitment today, it is February 4th. Everyone on this webinar, everyone in your team, make a commitment for 30 days. I am going to post on social media, and I'm going to hashtag Team SuperHeROE. What's your team name?
SuperHeROE.
Team SuperHeROE, right? I'm going to hashtag Team SuperHeROE every single day, and you all are going to encourage each other and like each other's pictures and cheer each other on, but do it for 30 days. Mm-hmm. And for me, like I said, when I get up in the morning, and you will really see a difference. I mean, the girls on my team that do it, they like, oh my gosh, I got reposted by LuLaRoe, or wow, I have 100 more followers, or whatever. But you have to be consistent. Larry Wingett said that at convention last year. He said the biggest, and I'm sure I'm not quoting him perfectly, but the gist is that the biggest rob of success is inconsistency. It's just like me. I go to the gym like every day for 2 weeks, and then I don't go for 6 months. It does me no good. I might as well have stayed at home and ate Oreos those 2 weeks, because it didn't do me any good. But if you're consistent and you post every single day and you're getting up and thinking about that, I really believe that, especially starting out, like I said, find things that you're good at or that you love and really play to those strengths. And don't compare yourself to anybody else. You don't have to be me or Ashley or Sherry or any, you don't have to be anybody else, but be yourself, and don't compare yourself, because everybody's journey is different. Some girls will come right out of the gate and pay themselves back in like 5 seconds. That didn't happen for me. I started out and handed out business cards and did like 1 party, and then I had 2 weeks, and then I did another party. Sure, I would have loved to have had 5 parties right off the gate, but I didn't. But I'm proof that if I can start at negative and build a really strong business, anybody can do it, because I didn't know anybody. But I was too damn stubborn. Sorry, I kind of have a potty mouth. I was too darn stubborn to quit or to give up. I was gonna, my husband telling me that I would quit was probably the best thing that has ever happened to our family, because I was like, I will show you. I am not gonna quit, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna show you, and blah blah blah. And it really lit a fire under me that I was like, well, what does he know? I am gonna show him. He doesn't know what I see, and I'm gonna prove him wrong. And it really has. And I kind of look at every challenge like that. Like, oh, you think I can't qualify for the cruise? Watch out. I'm going to qualify for the cruise. Yeah. Because there's no reason why you can't. So that's kind of how I approach my business. Is like, well, if she can do it, I can do it, right? I might have to work a little harder. I might have to do whatever, but I'm willing to make those sacrifices. And if you are, I get up at 5 a.m. with my husband, and I hate it. I hate it. I would so much, I could sleep till noon. I am one of those people. I like to stay up late, and I could sleep till noon if I didn't have children. But I get up at 5 a.m. with him every morning, and it is painful, and it will always be painful for me, but I do it because when I get to visit with him for a few minutes, and I make him his lunch, very like 50s housewife. I'm very progressive like that. But we get to see each other for a few minutes in the morning and have a cup of coffee, and he goes on his way. And then I have a good hour that I can get stuff done and work really hard for that hour, and then I can be with my kids and get them off to school. But I'm a big believer in those kind of chunks where you can really get a lot of work done instead of being pulled, especially as a mom. I get nothing done if I'm trying to respond to a Facebook message and, oh wait, I need to make a snack, and oh hey, can you help me do this? And you're not getting anything done. I would much rather be completely present with my kids or with my family. And then when they go to bed at night, man, I can really, in 2 hours from 8 to 10 o'clock, I can get a lot done for my business, or in the morning, or maybe during a nap, or while, my daughter's in preschool now. So when she's in preschool, man, I book it for those couple hours and really try and get a lot of stuff done, get all my calls done. I talk a lot in the car, anything to maximize the time that we have, because we all have the same hours in the day. Again, it's just how you use it. So being really consistent about that, I think, challenge yourself that right now I'm going to get up an hour earlier than when I normally get up, and it will be painful, and you can cuss me when that alarm goes off, but you are going to be so glad. Like when you see after a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you're really going to see the stuff that you accomplished, that your stress level goes down because you don't have all this stuff hanging over your head, and you're going to see those benefits in your business. Because if you do something every single day for your business, those seeds that you planted, even if you're brand new and just got your inventory, or if you've been doing this 2 years, the beauty of this business is that you can keep growing and you can relaunch and, you know, create new buzz with just a new box that arrives at any point. You know, even if you've taken a couple months off, or maybe you've had some rough parties, it's okay. Get yourself together, put your big girl pants on and say, dang it, this week is different. This week, I am going to post on social media every single day. I am going to get people so darn excited. They are going to be at my party 30 minutes early because they cannot handle all the great stuff that I just told them that I had. So really just, I think, take that initiative and be focused and consistent about your business and work it every single day. You're going to get up, you're going to put on a cute outfit, you're going to post on social media, you're going to hand out 5 or 10 business cards, you are going to prep your hostess, you are going to, you know, whatever those things are, but make your list and maybe do it before you go to bed. If it gets hard, you feel like you're not, you know, kind of getting overwhelmed, but make that list of the things that you have to get done. And maybe you can get all that done in that hour that you're up in the morning. And then if you have some more time in the afternoon, then great. You know, go back and do a few more things on that list, but really be consistent in what you're doing because you will see those benefits. I mean, I posted every single day, like I said, and didn't think anyone was watching. And I have the sweetest friend from high school that we'd kind of lost touch, and I had no idea. She was one of those first people to like my business page when I was like, hey, I'm doing this crazy new thing, go like my business page. She was one of the first to like it, and I had no idea that she was even still watching, but she was. And about, you know, 9 months into my business, she messaged me. She'd never bought an item, never anything, and said, oh my gosh, I can't handle it anymore. You post every single day these adorable outfits. First off, I need to get something and I think I want to do this. So it was really incredible, but I had no idea.
Yeah.
You know, so I think really putting in that work, you will see the benefits. It's, you know, Deanna always says planting those seeds. But really, you know, focus on being consistent and looking at like a 6-month goal. You know, for me, everybody has those bumps along the way, and do not feel like you are alone. I wanted to quit so many times. I was going to send all this stuff back. I was going to quit. I mean, I had this party where this lady had like her house smelled like cat pee and one person showed up. I mean, we've all been there, you know. You're going to have some of those bad ones, but it's worth it to get to the really good ones. You know, on Saturday, my husband went with me to a party, and he's never gone to a party before. That's totally not his thing. But I bribed him with like a day at the coast. And so he came and helped me unload. And I sold 105 things, got to spend the day with my husband, and drove home. Like, that's a pretty great day working. And I had the most amazing time with these really incredible women. So, you know, those kind of days make it all worth it. So put in the work, because you will get to that other side. And if you're focused on that 6-month goal, it's just like if you're driving a car, you don't look right in front of you. If you look right in front of you and you get a bunch of duplicates, or somebody wants to return something, or somebody cancels a party, you get defeated. And you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. This sucks. I quit, whatever. But if you're looking long term, for me, you know, I'm going to pay off my house. I mean, I just paid off my truck with SuperHeROE that I bought, and we owe $212,000. It's like written on a board in my house, on our house, and I'm going to pay that off this year. That's worth a year of hustle and hard work and sacrifice to be 35 years old and have my house paid for.
Yeah.
And allow and once my house is paid for, you know, my husband is Army Special Forces, and he's always in harm's way, and we're so proud of him. But I hate it when he's deployed, and I don't want anything to happen to him, and I'm ready for him to be done. So if our house is paid off, he's going to retire, which is pretty darn incredible. So that, you know, a few holy leggings, man, that's no sweat off my back. You send those suckers back to you and I'll get you some new ones, because the bigger goal is way more important than a few pair of leggings. I'm not worried about 15 bucks. Send them back to me, you know, when you're focused on that. So I think really being in tune with why you're doing this. You know, we talk a lot about our why, but really knowing what you want out of it helps any kind of those rough spots as you go to focus on that bigger thing.
It's very true. I mean, I took your challenge when you challenged Amy Lee's team. I'm farther down from Amy Lee, but I listened to the phone call, and I've been posting. I maybe missed a couple days here and there, but I've been posting regularly. They're not as beautiful as your pictures, but they're consistent. And I had a talk with Amelia at Leadership about what I should be focusing on in the pictures. How, you know, she helped me kind of
like composition and thinking like,
yeah. And so anyway, and I just had the slate, and I've been doing it. It's probably been about 30 days since that call. And so I just had a lady contact me through an email, and she said, okay, I went and I looked through all the San Antonio consultants, and I'm picking you because of your Instagram feed. And that's literally what she wrote on her. And I was like, oh my gosh, after all that. And she's a local singer. And so she knows lots and lots of like people in that environment, which means she has tons and tons of just contacts. And so it's like this huge seed that's planted that I am so excited to do her party when it'll be in 2 weeks. So anyhow,
that's amazing.
I'm there to, like, you know, testify that this stuff works. When you're consistent, it really works. And I feel like once the ball starts rolling, you kind of have to roll with it. Like, you know, eventually you're going to have to start pulling in a little bit more inventory to continue the excitement and, you know, not right now, but when you'll know when it happens, when people, I tell my customers, if they say, oh, how come you don't carry the, you know, the Sloan tea or something? And I said, well, I haven't had a lot of people interested in it, but if you are, then I'll write it down. If I get more interest, then maybe I'll pull it in. And then it creates this whole new excitement. And right now I've been doing that for a couple months and telling my customers that. And I'm now bringing in the Sloan teas this month. And it's like I'm launching again. Everyone's like freaking out about these little kids shirts. But I'm like, okay, you know,
Patrick says it all the time, and it's so true. Think like a retailer. The problem is that a lot of us coming in, I had never been in retail before. I'd never sold anything, but I had enough sense, thankfully, to ask questions. You know, be humble and know that you don't have to have all the answers. But look around. I scrolled Instagram and I would look at people that I liked the way that they did things. And it doesn't have to be LuLaRoe. I search the little magnifying glass or the Explorer on Instagram and just look through it when you're sitting there hanging out, you know, watching TV and see things that you like and cool ideas for posting and, you know, the way people write and just get some fun ideas. You know, that's what we're here about. We're always learning. We're always growing. I'm really excited about my social media and the benefits that it's done for my business, but I'm still growing. Like, I want to get better. I want to keep doing things to, you know, move my business forward and to keep people excited and to keep people engaged. So I think if you're always a learn-it-all and not a know-it-all, I think that that's always going to benefit your business. And reach out to people and be willing to try new things and relaunch at any point. I mean, I use every single box that comes to my house as a way to get people excited. And that's the best thing that you can do for your business. Post those ugly darn cardboard boxes on your doorstep and say, oh my gosh, you guys are going to die when you see what's inside, ... That's not hard, right? That could take 5 seconds. Anyone can do that. But you have to be committed and invested in your inventory to have those boxes arriving every week. Because if somebody comes to your party and 2 weeks later, they come back to another one or they host one and you have what you had before or less, you have ruined your opportunity to have that person as a customer. You really have. And it's so hard when you're first starting out. I know you said you have a lot of new people. It does. It feels like you are robbing Peter to pay Paul. And I get that. I felt the same way. I would write myself from my personal account a check for like $200 so I could order more Irmas. And then I would pay myself back. And then I would write myself another check for $100 so I could order more. At the beginning, you are going to feel like that. But remember, if you're focused on that 6-month goal, I tell all my girls, you want to come into this business and your goal is at 6 months to have completely paid yourself back, to have doubled your inventory, and to have a full calendar. If you've done that in 6 months, and you'll probably do it sooner, but if you've done that in 6 months, that's huge success. And anybody can do that, even starting at 0. I mean, I did it. I doubled my inventory and paid myself back in about 4 months. And like I said, that first month or 6 weeks was slow. I had a party. And then 2 weeks and I had a party. I mean, it was slow, but I invested every penny back in. And I know that I was in a fortunate situation that I was able to do that. There are a lot of ladies, they still have to pay bills and, you know, provide for their family. But every penny that you can put back in those first few months, you will see the benefit down the road of building that inventory, getting people excited, getting those parties booked, and then having more successful parties on top of successful parties is only going to help your business.
Yeah, and so that's basically it. I wanted to hear Lindsay tell you guys all of that awesomeness. So if you have any questions, type them up. There's only about 10 on here, but Lindsay's awesome, you guys. Like, this is just the beginning of her knowledge, and she's a real person, though. I mean, look at all those packages behind her. She has an online sale. Literally, somehow we're gonna get packed and ready and on flights, and our kids are going to be taken care of, and we're going to be on the cruise, but then we're going to, you know, relax on the beach.
Yeah.
It'll be nice.
I know. I just feel like I can sleep on the cruise, so I'm just not going to sleep until like Saturday.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. And I want you guys to understand that everyone in this business are real people, and they all had a beginning. And don't judge your beginning to their middle or their, they're never at their end, but don't judge your beginning to where Lindsay's at. She's giving you real life stories and how she started out. She started out really slow. I didn't start out really slow. I started out really quick. And so it's nice to know that there's different beginnings for everyone and that you're able to do it with any beginning. You could know 1 million people, or you could know only 2 people, and you can still do it. And okay, we have one question. Lindsay, you froze, but can you still hear me?
Yeah, you're kind of frozen on my end too, but I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sherry is a new consultant. She signed on, I think, 2 months ago. And Sherry's you can see it. How do you get to the level to sell 105 items at a party?
Sherry, you'll get there, but I do think investing in your
Okay, you there, Lindsay?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I think we're back. I can't see the chat anymore, so if you can see it, you just read it because I can't see it anymore.
Yeah, no, I remember. I think they were just asking about like how do you get to 105, pieces? How do you have a party like that? And it really is you have to have the inventory. There are some ladies that can sell that much at a launch, and I've heard that, but for me it was investing in my inventory, and I feel like you have to at least double your inventory. But I really felt like for me that 800 to 1,000 pieces was a really good sweet spot because I could still haul it all in my SUV. I didn't need, any extra trailer or anything like that. So doing that, I think, is really, really important in investing in your inventory, because then when a lady walks over to the Irma's or Randy's or whatever, you have a great selection and she buys multiple instead of buying one or not buying any because you don't really have a print that she loves, even though she loves the skirt or loves whatever. So investing in your inventory, and don't be afraid, you'll get there. You really will. I mean, that party was an amazing lady who had bought some stuff from me online, and then she asked me to do a party, and she lives like 2 hours away. And so I said, yeah, I'll do a party for you, but let's get a lot of people there. So she's a teacher, and she was amazing. She was a great hostess. She hyped it up. She wore her LuLaRoe every day to school. She was telling people what a great opportunity. I was driving 2 hours to be there, and they all came. I mean, it was crazy. It was a packed house, and it was a blast. So I think really helping people understand how much fun it is and how exciting. And so a lot of that hostess prep, investing in your inventory, and just the more comfortable and confident you get in your business, the more comfortable and confident your customers are going to be and your hostesses are going to be. And you just feel like you kind of have it all together. So don't be afraid. You'll get there though. Just keep doing them and have fun and be confident, and people will follow for sure. Somebody asked about online parties. I don't really do online parties. I've actually never done an online party. It's awful when all my girls ask. I'm like, hey, you got to ask somebody else on the team because I don't do them. What I do is basically just post in my shopping group, and I try and be generous with those people. But I don't do it where there is a hostess. So I'm not a really good one to ask. There's a lot of people that are super successful with those. I think it's a great avenue. Just for me, taking all the time to post pictures and doing all of that, I would much rather just go to a party and set it up and then take it down and not have to invoice and ship and be in like online hell like I am right now, and then give benefits away. So for me, I just kind of tried to use my social media to build up the numbers in my shopping group so that I could sell this stuff online without kind of having to have a hostess to get them there. So that's what I did. I just, posting a lot on social media when people would ask, hey, how can I shop? Oh, well, join my shopping group. I'll be posting on Sunday or whatever. So I steer a lot of people there because I just don't waste my time taking pictures of leggings to sell a pair of leggings to somebody. For me, I really try to maximize my time, and doing that, digging through or looking for the octopus leggings for one person is not worth my time. No. So I wait and I tell them, oh, you know, you can go there and, you know, maybe you'll get lucky and you'll be able to snag them. I'll be posting whenever. So I think it helps because I steer them all there. My shopping group, oh my gosh, I think it has like 6,200 people now. It's bananas. And it's sort of like piranhas in there, I'll tell you. I post and it's like gone. So, and I don't know how that happened. I just sort of was like, this is how I'm going to do it. And I don't post very much inventory. So I really, that was kind of my theory behind it, was I don't post everything. I post a very select amount because I want it to sell out, because I want it to create this buzz and this excitement so that the next time people are like, oh my gosh, they set alarms on their phones when I post so that they can see stuff, because they have their emails copy and pasted so that they can get it because it goes so fast. So I think that's what's helped my group be really successful, is that I have created this sort of frenzy in that they know if they don't grab it right now, it's going to be gone. So use that to your advantage, you know, let people know, hey, this stuff is limited and it will not last long. They're looking to you. I mean, I post that all the time, like, you better come to my open house because it's going to be gone. I don't know if 5 people are going to come or 50, but when you tell people that, it plants that seed of like, oh man, maybe it will all be gone. Maybe I better go. Oh man, let's get a coffee and let's drive out there. I live in the boonies and they come to my house, you know, once a month because they know that there will be a lot of other people here and they're afraid they'll get all the good stuff. So, you know, hype it up. People are looking to you to be the expert. So tell them they'll be really sad if they miss out. And then they'll be really sad if they miss out.
Yes,
you know?
Very much. Yeah. They just want to know if you post once a week or if you do it like on your shopping group, if you only do it once a month or something like that.
I used to do it 2 times a month. So I would do like once every 2 weeks. And they want me to do it once a week, but I don't know if I can handle that because it's sort of hell for a few days. I mean, it's amazing and I'm very blessed to have all those sales, but yowza, it's a lot of work. Like I said, God love the people that just do online because I kind of want to rip my hair out. It's a lot of work. But it's a valid avenue though. I mean, it's a great way for me to move inventory, and if I get duplicates, it's amazing, right? I put 2 online, I take 2 to parties, no more duplicates, you know, no more issues. Everybody's happy. So for me, it's a great avenue for that.
And Lindsay's in a place, you guys, where she has a huge team that she manages. So she's got to dedicate a lot of her time to that. And, you know, those override checks are paying her to be a manager of that team and to take care of them and to teach them the things that they need to know so that they can be like a little mini Lindsay. Or a mini Deanne.
Yeah, I mean, when Deanne started, I mean, that's the whole point of the trainings, right? Is they said, Deanne, you can't do parties anymore because you have to teach people to be you. You have to take that time and you want to replicate, you know, watch one, do one, teach one. So that's our job, is I want people to be able to, they don't have to be me, but I want them to at least have the tools to then be successful in their own business so that then they can turn around and teach the people underneath them. Because yes, it is crazy. When I started, I was like, oh my gosh, I'll never have a team. I went to convention by myself, didn't know anyone. My sponsor didn't go, went by myself. And I walked into that place and was like, what have I done? What am I doing here? But I met all these amazing women. I mean, the culture of LuLaRoe, they wrapped their arms around me. They were like, oh my gosh, come sit at our table. No problem. And it was really great. But I saw those women standing up there and I'm sort of ballsy. I'm just like, when somebody does really well, it does not intimidate me. It fires me up and motivates me to be like, wow, that lady is amazing. She must work really hard. But if I worked hard like that too, I could do it too. So I saw all these incredible women, you know, getting all these awards and going on cruises and doing these things. And I thought, well, dang it, I want to do that. So I came home and it really lit a fire under me to get going. And I created a team page even when I had no team, because I was like, well, I'm going to have a team. And I thought up a name and I created a team page and I had 0 people to add to it. But I was like, I'm going to do this. And, you know, if you put in the work and you're planting those seeds, man, I mean, look at now. I think I have 50 some directs. And then I have like 300 on my team now. And I've really only been building a team like a year and a half. So in a year and a half, I went from 0 to 300.
That's
which is sort of crazy. It's bananas some days, especially when Audrey is having a bad day.
Yeah. Well, what's crazy is that you're that girl for me. You guys at Leadership, Lindsay won $20,000. You guys, because what was it? What were the 2 things that you wanted? It was just did you even know that you were getting it?
I kind of thought that I thought I had a good chance because Mark had kind of hinted about the sales.
Yeah.
Because I knew my sales were high, but I did not know about the other one. So I thought like maybe I would get 10,000 and how cool would that be? But I had no clue about the other one. So top sales and then top recruits.
Yeah. So, I mean, she's the one, don't let someone intimidate you. When I saw her up there, I was like, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be next. That's going to be me in 2 years. Like,
Absolutely.
and it's okay to be patient with it. Like, okay, Deanne started this business years ago. She was creating the way that she sells. I mean, from the beginning of when she first joined direct sales and took those little girls' dresses and was selling them for that guy that if you guys have heard her background, she asked this guy to take his dresses and go sell them at houses. And, even before that, her mom had taught her from a young age to be a good salesman, and they had a catering company. And so remember the things that when you're looking at someone and you're saying, oh my gosh, but they're just so much better than me in this, or they look stronger. It's because there's a lot of experience behind that, and it comes with time. And now there are those people that became accidental trainers and coaches, and that's because people are joining like wildfire right now, and that's fantastic. But most of the girls who are our top leaders in the company, it took a couple of years to get up there and to be patient with me, and it'll get there. There's one more quick question, and it's your biggest mistake you've made and your best decision you've made since joining.
The biggest mistake I made was probably my husband told me not to do it, and instead of like having a conversation with him and like trying to win him over, so that he felt like he helped me make the decision, or he was part of it, I just ordered the stuff and the boxes arrived. So don't do that. So like the first year of LuLaRoe, my husband rolled his eyes every time I said something about LuLaRoe. So that's really not the best relationship advice I could give somebody. You should probably have your husband on board first. But it's still the best decision I made. I mean, I would not take it back, because taking that leap and believing in myself. And when I got back from convention, we kind of had a moment, and I just said, listen, dude, this is the deal. This is what the potential is for this business. I really see it. This is what I want to do, but you got to be with me. You got to be on board. I'm going to become a trainer. This is what a trainer is. Again, I had 0 people, and I had just paid myself back. I mean, I had no reason to even think that this was possible. And he said, okay, get your 10 and then we'll talk. And so I did. And then right after that, literally a week later, after I got back from convention, I was so excited and fired up. My husband was supposed to be home the rest of the year. He got a call and they said, you're deploying for 6 months. And it was like a punch to the stomach. I thought, well, fine, I quit, right? There's no way I can do this. We have no family here. We have 2 little kids. How am I going to, work even more and try and grow this business and do this big thing if I'm doing it by myself? And I cried for like 24 hours. And then I did kind of what I always do. And I kind of looked myself in the mirror and thought, you have a choice. You can quit and no one would fault you and say, well, you tried, that was okay. Those were fun. That was a fun thing for you to do for a little while. Or I could really buckle down and just find a way to make it work and have something really cool to show for it when he got back after 6 months. Or I could, sit home and be sad for 6 months. And so obviously I chose the latter, and wow, it's been pretty incredible to see what I was able to accomplish in the time that he was gone, just because I was that much more motivated.
Was that the deployment he just got home for, or did he have another one?
Oh, he's had another one. He's always gone.
Okay, because he just got home.
That's why I want him to retire, right? Hence why I want him to retire.
Oh my gosh.
He's always gone. So yeah. Anytime saving tips for setting up at a party. I did that. All my stuff is on racks now, and I have a trailer, so I roll it off, roll it on. But I mean, I did for a year and a half. I mean, I broke it down at every single party and did about 1,700 parties, I swear. But I don't know. I guess just the IKEA bags and the collapsible salesman's racks. I just tried to keep everything in order and take big chunks off the rack and kind of fold it down. And I would keep like all the Nicole dresses in a bag and all the Irmas in a bag, just to make it easier, so that you weren't, especially if you had to go pull something later. That seemed to work the best. But I don't know, just get fast and ask for help. That's what I do. At first, I felt bad. I wouldn't let any of the hostesses help me when they would offer, because I was like, oh, no, it's your party. You relax. I'll do it. And then I'm like, why? Why am I doing that? So now I say, oh my gosh, help me. Yes, the faster we get this set up, the faster you get to shop.
That's awesome. Well, you guys, follow Lindsay, because she's very inspiring, and her pictures are super fun because she posts like what she's doing during the day. So if she's in the grocery store with her daughter, it's a picture of her. She includes her customers in her life, and I think that makes her really very relatable to her customers. And she's a coach, and are you on the President's Council?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She is on the President's Council, so she is just amazing, you guys. And my Lula celebrity, but I determined to be her.
Well, you're so sweet.
Weird,
You must be so lucky to have her. Oh my gosh, what an amazing leader. And so positive. Follow her lead. And yes, just reach out, follow other people. And that, I do love that about this community. I mean, it's unfortunate that a lot of times when you get women together that you can have kind of this competitive nature and kind of catty, and you just don't see that in LuLaRoe. And I love that. I love that. I mean, I get messages all the time from people all over the country like, hey, I see you have a trailer. Like, can you help me? Or what would you do in this situation? And, you know, my life is crazy busy, but I do my very best to respond because I think that's what LuLaRoe is about. You know, I went to that convention and those girls, I didn't know anybody. Somebody could have turned me away. You know, I could have been sitting by myself and I wouldn't have had the same experience and I would probably have come home and quit. I would not have made those big goals and kind of gone after it. Had, you know, Tori Macy's is just a doll and she's in Bakersfield, and she did. She was just like, oh my gosh, come sit with us. And we are dear friends now. But she didn't have to do that. I'm not on her team. I don't benefit her in any way. She just did it out of the kindness of her heart because, you know, she just felt like it was the right thing to do. She added me to her team page. I mean, just things like that she didn't have to. And I think that that's really incredible and shows what LuLaRoe is about. So, you know, don't be afraid to reach out to other people and then, you know, pay it forward and do it for somebody else.
Yep, because that's the biggest thing. This company changes lives, you guys. It's amazing. So thank you, Lindsay. And I have to go picture 100 items and then pack a trailer for a party. That's why I have a trailer. See, I'm stalking you. I'm trying to get. No.
You're so sweet. You're so sweet. Well, thank you guys so much. Have an amazing week. I wish you all the best. Just be consistent. Write it down right now. You're going to get up an hour early tomorrow and you're going to post on social media and you're going to hand out 10 business cards, right? Anybody can do that. You can do it. Be consistent. I'll be watching. I'll be watching on social media.
Yeah, she's going to hashtag her name. But
I'm going to follow it. Team SuperHeROE. Okay, bye, guys.
Thank you, Lindsay. Bye.